Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Very cool. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Mataji got initiated. That's a very good. Very cool. Okay, so what's your initiated name, Mataji?
Prabhu, my initiated name is Punyashri Radhika Devidasi.
Punyashri Radhika Devdasi.
Yes.
Very nice. So those who are initiated can actually put their initiated names.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, and we discussed, I'm been reminding, try to switch on your camera. That's a good thing to do. Yeah. All right. Okay. So we can start the class right away. Lesson 3. Just confirm you can see the screen.
Yes, Prabhu.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swakadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavasya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahadan Raghunathantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijan Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagallalita Shri Vishakamitasya Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shivade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Paschati Krishnarini वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधा नमस्ते तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी श्रीराधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि जय हो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि भक्तवृंद नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौतिषे नमः हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna everyone, welcome again once again to our Bhakti Shastri course. Okay, no problem. Kshitij Prabhuji is in train, so he may not be able to switch on the camera. That's okay. The general idea is to switch on if it's possible to do so. Okay, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So in our last session, we completed chapter 1, unit 1 as we say. Unit 1 means first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, and today we are in lesson number 3, and we'll be covering the first 11 shlokas of chapter 2. Chapter 2 is a big chapter, but apart from 11 shlokas, you will see a lot of uh, philosophical points that will be discussed today. And plus, there will be one group discussion. So we'll break into rooms. We'll make around 2 rooms or 3 rooms, and then you will do some discussion. The rules for the group discussion will be told you at that point in time. Okay? So just to quickly go through in terms of what we discussed in our last two sessions, we identified Arjuna's reasons for not fighting. Can anybody help the forum in understanding those four reasons quickly, briefly? Anybody can point out what were the four reasons for Arjuna not to fight?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, ma'am.
First, compassion. Second, enjoyment. Third, sinful reactions. And fourth, destruction of dynasty.
Yes, absolutely right. So Arjun gave four reasons: compassion, he was becoming compassionate towards family members and relatives and friends. Enjoyment. Enjoyment doesn't mean that he wanted to enjoy, it meant that there's no enjoyment in killing everyone. Sinful reactions, that if he does so, he'll have sinful reactions and destruction of the dynasty. That is parampara, parivarik parampara, his dynasty will be destroyed. Then we also listed down the progressive steps towards leading towards destruction of dynasty. So when we say destruction of dynasty, we discussed some steps. Anybody remembers which steps we discussed? Very beautifully we discussed that how one leads to the other, next one, the next one, the next one. Anybody wants to recall those steps which led towards destruction of dynasty? No remembrance? Mhm. Nobody's making notes. You can refer.
Can I, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
Step by step, the first is death of family elders. Second, family tradition is vanquished. Third, family becomes in I don't know. Fourth is
Family becomes
degradation of
involved in irreligion.
family becomes involved in irreligion. Fourth, degradation of womanhood. Five, unwanted progeny. And six, community project and family welfare activities devastated.
Very good. So these were the progressive steps we discussed. Unwanted progeny. What is it called? What is the word used in the shloka?
Varna Shankara.
Varana Shankar. Thank you, Mataji. Then we also discussed on how the statement women are generally not very intelligent. We did discuss on its appropriate and inappropriate application. And we discussed three key points in this. What were the three key points that we discussed for this statement? What were the three key points that we discussed? Hmm?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Three points where women are tender, so they need shelter. Though women are mentally strong but physically weak. Then everybody is a Shudra in Kali Yuga, so there is no distinction. And then women have a tendency to take it on themselves, many things, though
Yeah.
it is
To be the reason for all that is happening in the lives of their husbands. Very good, very nice, Mataji. Thank you. And then the last point, appropriate and inappropriate application of the principles of utility of violence. We discussed on violence also, how sometimes violence is also required. But for it not to be inappropriately interpreted, we did some discussion. Anybody wants to summarize what was the discussion on violence?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, may I try?
Yes, Anushri Mataji, go on.
So everything has its proper utility. So violence too has its utility. So if we are confused as to what should be done, so at that time we should go and approach our guru. He will guide us. Or we can see what the Shastras are saying for that purpose. And we can even approach a sadhu. And that is it, Prabhuji. Only in complete knowledge can
Yeah.
and complete knowledge, then we can know what to do. Otherwise, we should always rely on taking guidance.
Very good. So Mataji is pointing out a man who is situated in complete knowledge knows how and where to apply. Very good. And we did discuss some examples also. Which purport did we refer to?
2.21.
2.21, yes. And we looked at some examples. Prabhupada gave some examples in it.
So if there is a death sentence, you cannot blame the judge. He is just following the law, what is written in the law. And in a surgery, you cannot blame the surgeon because he is following the process of eliminating illness. So his process may look violent, but it brings about some good.
Very nice. So surgery may look violence, but actually it's violence for good. No? So you cannot say that he's trying to kill me. He's actually trying to save you by cutting you. Principles of Varna Ashram Dharma. So before we get into Varna Ashram Dharma, let me understand from you, what do you mean by Varna Ashram Dharma? Anyone? Varna Ashram Dharma. Anybody wants to tell us about Varna Ashram Dharma?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, ma'am.
The division of society into 4 varnas, Prabhuji. Chaturvarna Maya Shrishta. Krishna himself says he has classified this. So Brahmacharya Ashram. Oh, not Ashram, Varna. Okay. Shudras, Vaishyas, Kshatriyas, and the 4th one.
Brahmana.
Pardon?
Brahmana.
Brahmana. Oh, sorry. Yes. Brahmana.
So these are the 4 varnas and 4 ashrams. Anybody wants to say 4 ashram?
Can I Prabhuji?
Mataji? 4 ashram, nobody knows?
May I, Prabhu? Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa.
Yes, very nice. So Varna ashram, there are 2 words here, Varna and ashram. 4 ones are there, as Mataji said. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. And 4 ashrams, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas. And following this division of society and leading your life is called Varnashram Dharma. Varnashram Dharma is gradual progression. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So actually our scriptures, if you see, will suggest gradual progression to Moksha by following Dharma. By Dharma you get Artha, which means Dhana, Lakshmi. Through Lakshmi, you enjoy your senses, that is called Kama, Dharma, Artha, Kama. And we stop there. We think Lakshmi, we have gotten, now let's enjoy. What's beyond that? Nothing. Enjoyment should continue perpetually. But sadly, that's not the thing. After that, it's moksha. So should we do that? We are not saying that. It's like Burj Khalifa. How many floors are there, Mataji? Burj Khalifa?
Prabhu, 164.
164. How many of you want to climb by stairs? Nobody would like to do that, no? And especially in the scorching heat of Dubai. But you may want to go by escalator. So, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha is like climbing stairs of Burj Khalifa. One day you will reach the top. But that one day, when will it come, you don't know. But through escalators, through lift, you can reach immediately. That's called Bhakti Yoga. So we'll come to that discussion. So what is Prabhupada saying in the purport of 1.39 and 1.40? The Varna Ashram religion's principle were so designed that the good population would prevail in society for the general spiritual progress of the state and community. So what is happening is Varna Ashram Dharma has one objective. What is that objective? To enjoy. Is the objective to enjoy? Yes.
Prabhuji, to get moksha?
To get moksha, but unfortunately, For us, Varnashram Dharma means Dharma, Artha, Kam, full stop. That's not the real purpose of Varnashram Dharma. The real purpose of Varnashram Dharma is moksha. So it's a gradual progression. See, there are two ways. One is enjoy till you become so bored that you want to go for moksha. If you see hippies were for families who are well-to-do. They had no dearth of material opulence, but they wanted an alternative life. Why? They were bored of sense enjoyment, sense gratification. See for yourself, you can experience this. If you eat too much one day, next day you want to eat less, isn't it? You are too tired of sense enjoyment. If you go for holidays, if you are there for too long, you get bored and you want to come back to work, isn't it? So, sense gratification, if it goes to its zenith, then you actually get bored of it and you want to go for moksha. But is that the ideal way? That's not the ideal way. Because when will you get bored of sense gratification, we don't know. That is why, in spite of our scriptures mentioning about Varnashram Dharma and gradual progression, Bhakti Yoga is something which will put you in an escalator, put you in a lift, and directly take you to your destination without having to go through step by step, step by step, step by step. But everybody cannot do that. So scriptures, keeping everybody in mind, say that okay, you follow Varnashram Dharma. What it entails in following Varnashram Dharma, we'll do discussion. Definition of Varnashram Dharma: occupational duties and prescribed duties. So we'll refer to some purports of Prabhupada to understand. So what it means, we have been saying Varnashram Dharma, Varnashram Dharma, Varnashram Dharma. Prabhupada is saying Varnashram Dharma means occupational duties and prescribed duties. So the question naturally comes in our mind, what is the prescribed duty for me? If I ask you, what is the prescribed duty? For that, you need to understand your constitutional position as per Shastras. Which basically means you need to understand your burn, your ashram, and the mode under which you are operating. Mode means, how many modes are there?
3, Prabhu.
Which are the modes?
3 modes of material.
Ignorance, passion, and
Passion,
goodness.
goodness, and ignorance. Yeah?
Ignorance, passion, and goodness.
Thank you, ma'am. So, Satoguna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna. What is Krishna saying? When Mataji just gave the shloka. Chatur Vande Maya system, Gunha Karma Vibhagasa. So Krishna is saying, I did 4 divisions of the society based on 2 factors, Guna and Karma. This Guna means the mode under which you are operating. आपके अंदर सतोगुण है, रजोगुण है या तमोगुण है. Guna Karma. Karma is what is your occupational duty? What are you doing? So there can be many occupational duties, many dharmas. Kula dharma, family traditions. So for which Prabhupada discussed in 1.39. All of you can open the purport for 1.39. Prabhupada is saying what? In the system of the Varnashram institution, there are many principles of religious traditions to help members of the family grow properly and attain spiritual values. So in our Varnashram Dharma, the first point that is entailed is Kula Dharma. Kula Dharma means mere kul ka ye dharma hai. My kul's dharma. So when we were discussing in the last session how in a war if men are killed, women are degraded, and the steps that we recalled, it says elderlies, the elders of the family, when they are dead, tradition is destroyed. Why? Prabhupada explains in the purport. Let's read the purport. The elder members are responsible for such purifying processes in the family, beginning from birth to death. Practically, you see, if a small baby is born in a family, who do you go and refer to for traditions, for what has to be done? You go to your Dadaji, Dadiji, Nanaji, Naniji, grandparents, isn't it? Why? Because they are aware. Similarly, at the time of death, what has to be done? You still go to the elders. So they are responsible for such purifying processes. But on the death of the elder members, such traditions of purifying may stop, and the remaining younger family members may develop irreligious habits and thereby lose their chance for spiritual life. And that is exactly what is happening today. Exactly what is happening today. Kids are going out of their houses for jobs. Parents are staying back in India, let's say. And mother suddenly calls, "Beta, आज व्रत रखा? मम्मा क्या करना है? आज एकादशी है." हाँ, पता ही नहीं है. Don't know. Why? Because elders are not there and youngers are developing irreligious habits. So to follow our Kula Dharma is also under Varnashram Dharma. Very good. What's the other type of Dharma? Jati Dharma, यानी community projects. कौन सी जाति के हैं आप? जनरली when we say कौन सी जाति के हैं, तो मैं बिहारी हूँ, मैं मारवाड़ी हूँ, मैं बंगाली हूँ, मैं मराठी हूँ. ना we say that community. See, actually you are referring to community. If you have stayed in Uttar Pradesh, you say I am from Uttar Pradesh. If you stayed in Bihar, you say I am Bihari. If you have stayed in Rajasthan, you say I am a Marwadi. If you have stayed in Kerala, you say I am a Malyalam. It's a community thing. So there's a Jati Dharma. And what is Prabhupada saying about Jati Dharma? 1.42 purport, if we come to community projects for the four orders of human society combined with the family welfare activities as they are set forth by the institution of Sanatana Dharma or Varn Ashram Dharma are designed to enable human being to attain his ultimate salvation. So nothing is for no purpose. Everything is for some purpose. And Prabhupada is beautifully explaining that even a Jati Dharma has been designed to attain ultimate salvation. Sanhe, gradually you can progress through your Kula Dharma, through your Jati Dharma. Very good. So Kula Dharma, family traditions, society traditions. What about me? Swadharma, one's own religious principles. Now let's come to 2.31. Beautiful purport. Anybody would like to read? Please read. It's a very good purport, Prabhupada. Or maybe there are 2-3 paragraphs, 2-3 devotees can.
May I, Prabhuji, which one?
Yeah. 2.31.
Should I read just the purport, Prabhuji?
Yes, go on, Mataji.
Considering your specific duty as a Kshatriya, you should know that there is no better engagement for you than fighting on religious principles. And so there is no need for hesitation.
Yeah.
How do
So if you see the translation, Krishna is reminding Arjuna, considering your specific duty as a Kshatriya. So which means, based on the Varna you belong to, you have some prescribed duties, which is called Swadharma. So if you have to define Swadharma, Swadharma as per Shastras mean duties prescribed for you based on your Varna and Ashram. Simple. Most simple definition. Swadharma means your duties prescribed in the Shastras based on your Varna and Ashram. And that is why Krishna is explaining to Arjuna, your specific duty as a Kshatriya, your Varna is Kshatriya. And what is your specific duty? What is your Swadharma? You should know that there is no better engagement for you than fighting on religious principles. You have to uphold religious principles and you have to fight, Arjuna. And don't hesitate. This is your Swadharma. So we will understand what's the Swadharma for each Varna. Mataji, purport please.
Out of the 4 orders of social administration, the second order for the matter of good administration is called Kshatriya. Shat means hurt. One who gives protection from harm is called Kshatriya, Trayate to give protection. The Kshatriyas are trained for killing in the forest. A Kshatriya would go into the forest and challenge a tiger face to face and fight with the tiger with his sword. When the tiger was killed, it would be offered the royal order of cremation. This system is being followed even up to the present day by the Kshatriya kings of Jaipur state. The Kshatriyas are specially trained for challenging and killing because religious violence is sometimes a necessary factor. Therefore, Kshatriyas are never meant for accepting directly the order of sannyasa or renunciation. Non-violence in politics may be a diplomacy, but it is never a factor or principle. In the
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So Prabhupada here is explaining clearly what's the Swadharma for Kshatriya. And Prabhupada is saying Kshatriyas are trained to kill. And the moment this purport was written, Prabhupada is referring to a tradition followed in Jaipur, where the kings were still following the tradition of going to the jungle and killing a tiger because they are Kshatriyas. And Prabhupada is reminding us religious violence is sometimes a necessary factor. So there may be some violence to uphold the principles of religion, and so Kshatriyas must train themselves for violence. And they are not meant to accept directly the order of sannyasa. See, this is good, no? Prabhupada is saying Kshatriyas don't accept sannyas. Which means what? They'll not get salvation? No, we'll see. Prabhupada is writing further in the purport what a Brahmana achieves through the study of Vedas, a Kshatriya achieves through the killing of the enemy. You understand? Sometimes you may feel, oh, I'm a Shudra, so I'll never get salvation because I'm meant to serve the three. But actually, I thought only by serving the Lord and the Vaishnavas we can go to Goloka. Prabhupada is saying, if you follow and if you do the duties prescribed for your one and ashram, you will get the same result as a Brahmana gets by studying the Vedic scriptures. Okay, somebody else can continue after that.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, may I read?
Yes.
In the religious law books, it is stated, Ahaveshu mito punyam jigam santo mahishata yuddhamana paramam sakya swargam yanti aparanmukha yagneshu pasavo brahman hamyante satatam tuja sanskrita kila mantraischa tepi swargam avapnuvan. In the battlefield, a king or kshatriya, while fighting another king, envious of him, is eligible for achieving the heavenly planets after death. As the Brahmanas also attain the heavenly planets by sacrificing animals in the sacrificial fire. Therefore, killing on the battlefield on religious principles and killing animals in the sacrificial fire are not at all considered to be acts of violence because everyone is benefited by the religious principles involved. The animal sacrificed gets a human life immediately without undergoing the gradual evolutionary process from one form to another. And the Kshatriyas killed on the battlefield also attain the heavenly planets, as do the Brahmanas who attain them by offering sacrifice.
So beautifully explained. If you do your prescribed duties, the result will be good, equally good, depending on the varna you are in. So if a Brahmana is doing sacrificial fire and he's sacrificing, let's say, an animal, he'll get the same results as a Kshatriya will get by killing his enemy on religious principles. See, it said on religious principle. That does not mean the Kshatriya will just go and pick up fight with anyone because of his personal gains. No, it said on religious principles. You should mark those words. Killing on the battlefield on religious principles, to uphold the principles of religion. Not to satisfy, not to satiate your greed for money, for women, that you pick a fight with uh, other kings. No, that's not religious principle. Religious principles have to be upheld in that way. So the results are the same. A Kshatriya killing somebody on the battlefield and a Brahmana by offering sacrifice. And sometimes you are criticized saying your Shastras are saying animals have to be sacrificed. But we have to explain to them that when Brahmanas are offering animals, generally those are weak and old animals, and the moment they are sacrificed, they are immediately promoted to what? Human body. Otherwise, they may have to go to evolutionary cycle. There is a cycle there. It's not that a fish can directly become a human being. You have to go through each, and Prabhupada says in one of the purports, in one of the letters or lectures, that a tiger becomes a human in Rajoguna, a cow becomes a human in Satoguna, and Tamoguna, I think, I don't remember, but some animal he says that he becomes a human in Tamoguna. A monkey, yes, monkey. So he explains about a tiger, a monkey, and a cow becoming human directly. So you have to really, from the lower species of animals, you have to come to the higher species of animals to become human being. But if a lower species of animal is sacrificed, he directly gets human body. So he doesn't have to go through the entire evolutionary process to become human. Because human being is the only body through which you can attain salvation. And apart from the human body, rest all are bhog yonis. What do you mean by bhog yonis? Can anybody explain? What do you mean by bhog yoni? Apart from the human body, all other bodies that you get are bhog yoni, which means what?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, is it basically eating, sleeping, and defending?
That also we are doing, but what is it? I mean, what do you mean by bhog yoni?
We only for sense gratification, Prabhu?
Okay. Okay, let me put it this way. I understood where the confusion is. So thinking it's meant for bhog. The bhog here is, when we say sometimes, no, अपने कर्मों के भोग भोग रहा है. From that angle, you have to think.
Prabhuji, that means that all other species don't have incur karma by what they are doing, but human beings will incur karma.
Very good. Only human beings, when they do karma, pap and punya comes. If you're doing in a sakama way, fruitive activities. For animals, if a tiger is killing a cow, don't think that the tiger will be punished for that. No, because it is already suffering for its deeds. So it's called bhog yoni, which means that the animals, the trees, or whatever, they finish their suffering and they come back. That's the whole thing. Okay. So उनको उनके कर्मों का भोग नहीं लगता है. All right. So Swadharma. Next, last paragraph, most important paragraph of the purport. Somebody please read.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I would continue. There are two kinds of swadharmas, specific duties. As long as one is not liberated, one has to perform the duties of his particular body in accordance with religious principles in order to achieve liberation. When one is liberated, one's swadharma, specific duty, becomes spiritual and is not in the material bodily concept. In the bodily conception of life, there are specific duties for the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas respectively, and such duties are unavoidable. Swadharma is ordained by the Lord, and this will be clarified in the 4th chapter. On the bodily plane, Swadharma is called Varnashrama Dharma or man's stepping stone for spiritual understanding. Human civilization begins from the stage of Varnashrama Dharma or specific duties in terms of the specific modes of nature of the body obtained. Discharging one specific duty in any field of action in accordance with the orders of the higher authorities serves to elevate one to the highest status of life.
Very nice. So see, so much concept Prabhupada is clearing, no? So Prabhupada is saying there are two kinds of Swadharma. So Swadharma, we understood, are specific duty, prescribed duty. Prabhupada is saying, see, when you are not liberated, which we are not, then your Swadharma is Varnashram Dharma, which means do things based on the Varn and Ashram and the mode you are in. Okay, see what is Prabhupada saying. So dharma is ordained by the Lord, and this will be clarified in the 4th chapter on the bodily plane, which means when you're not liberated. So dharma is called Varnashram Dharma or man's stepping stone for spiritual understanding. Human civilization begins from the stage of varnashram dharma or specific duties in terms of specific modes of the nature of the body obtained. So you cannot ignore the body you have gotten. Based on that body and the mode you are in, you have to do your duty. So Brahmana has a duty, Kshatriya has a separate duty, Vaishya has a separate duty, and Shudra has a separate duty. If you do that, then you're following Swadharma. But once you are liberated, then Prabhupada is saying, Swadharma becomes spiritual and is not in the material bodily concept. Then you don't have to do all this, all spiritual. Okay, so this clearly explains to us what is the concept of Varnashram Dharma and Swadharma. And then Swakarma. So for Swakarma, Prabhupada refers us to 18.45. All of you can go to 18.45. By following his qualities of work, every man can become perfect. Now, please hear from me how this can be done. So, by following his qualities of work, so exactly what it means is follow your Swadharma and it's called Swakarma. So, doing your karma based on your Swadharma is called Swakarma. Okay. So, we have understood Varnashram Dharma. Varnashram Dharma, under that, we have understood Kula Dharma, Jati Dharma, Swadharma, and Swakarma.
Hare
Human
Krishna.
civilization.
Can I ask a question? Or
Yes,
should
please.
I-
Yeah, no, please ask.
So basically, Prabhuji, Swadharma is very clear basis on the Varn and the Ashrama and the mode of material nature we are in. Kula Dharma would only be like doing things which are under family traditions, right?
Yes.
And Jati Dharma would be like based on the caste we are in, or whatever generally is done. For example, if somebody is a Brahmana, whatever their duties are, that is basically like Jati Dharma.
No. See, Jati Dharma means community projects, welfare activities. As a community, when you do welfare activities, it's called Jati Dharma. For example, in Mangalore, there's a community called GSBs. So GSBs get together and they have some tradition which they follow. Or let's say on a crude example, we can say pleasing the demigods based on the community you are in. Let's say the residents of Bihar and Uttar Pradesh would do Chhat Puja. It's done only by their community, not everybody else. Okay,
Right.
something that has to do with community and your family welfare activities. That's called Jati Dharma. The Jati you are under, yeah. Kula Dharma is the Kul you are under. So Brahmana, you are a Brahmana, and this is the family tradition you have to follow. Okay, you're born in a Brahman family, you should do this sacred thread when you are at the age of 4, for example. So that becomes Kula Dharma. My Kula Dharma is this. Okay. So Dharma means at a personal level, what you said that I'm a Brahmana and as a Brahmana I should do this, that is Swadharma. Personal level, what is Dharma? Family level, Kula Dharma. Society level, Jati Dharma. Okay.
And what would be Swakarma, Prabhuji?
Swadharma when followed becomes Swakarma. When you're following, what is the Dharma?
Okay, understood.
Human civilization begins from the stage of Varnashram Dharma or specific duties in terms of the specific mode of nature of the body obtained, which we already discussed. Now, interesting discussion. So, till now, we have been saying depending on the modes, depending on the modes, depending on the modes, you have your specified duties, which is also Dharma. So, if you all open 4.13, in which Krishna is explaining Chaturvanya Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagasa. So he's saying, according to the 3 modes of material nature and the work associated with them, the 4 divisions of human society are created by me. So I created 4 divisions of society based on what? 3 modes. Guna means which mode you are under, and karma, which means the work associated with them. So if we try to link it to the various varna, how do we understand? It's 4 varnas: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. So who is a Brahmana? A Brahmana is one who has Sattva Guna. Satoguni Vyakti is a Brahmana. So it's not the other way. Always remember, when in your 4 ashrams, students were going and following brahmacharya and going to Gurukul, the Guru was identifying the mode. He was identifying, is this student primarily of Satoguna, primarily of Rajoguna, or primarily of Tamoguna? See, there will be 3 modes, but what is the dominant mode you are under? If the dominant mode is Satoguna, Brahmana, Rajoguna, Kshatriya, both Rajoguna and Tamoguna, Vaishya, Tamoguna, Shudra. Gunha. So, if the son of a Brahmana, it's a question for you all. If the son of a Brahmana is lazy, likes to drink, eats non-veg, what is the mode he's operating under?
Tamoguna, Prabhuji.
Tamoguna. So if he's operating under Tamoguna, does he become a Brahmana?
No.
Why? He's the son of a Brahmana, no?
It's not as per birth, no, Prabhu.
Ah, it's not as per birth. It's not as per birth. Krishna has not said Janma Karma Vibhagasa. Krishna has said Guna Karma Vibhagasa. And that is where the society has misinterpreted the Shastras. And they say, your Krishna, you see what division he has created in the society. Krishna has not created this division. We have created through misinterpretation. Ki Brahman ka beta Brahman, Kshatriya ka beta Kshatriya, Shudra ka beta Shudra. Even if the son of a Shudra is having qualities of a Brahmana, he's a Brahman. Can anybody give an example of this? Son of a Shudra becoming Brahmana. Any example?
Can we take Haridas Thakur, Prabhuji?
Okay, Haridas Thakur, very nice.
Narad Muni.
You don't have to go so back. Just in the last 60, 70 years. Srila Prabhupada made all hippies Brahmanas. And hippies were below Shudras. They are Malech. Lowest platform. Lowest platform. Not even Shudras. Lowest platform. And they were made Brahmanas. So Shudras can become Brahmanas, and Prabhupada did that. Isn't it? Do you need a better example for that? Hippies, know what they were doing? If you, I think most of you have read Prabhupada's book, the shorter version, the single book edition. How when he went there, all Malech were lying. Yeah? They would lie on the stairs. Prabhupada would have to walk over them, not step on them, but just cross them and go. Full drug addicts. But then what happened? They all gradually progressed to the level of Brahman. So it's possible, and it has been shown that it's possible. Okay. So Prabhupada in this purport is writing, he is therefore the creator of the 4 divisions of the social order. He means Krishna. Beginning with the intelligent class of men, technically called Brahmanas, due to their being situated in the mode of goodness. So Brahmanas are intelligent and they are situated in the mode of goodness. Next is the administrative class, technically called Kshatriyas, due to their being situated in the mode of passion, Rajoguna. The mercantile men, which means the Vaishyas, are situated in mixed modes, passion and ignorance. And the Shudras or labor are situated in the ignorant mode of material nature. So clearly Prabhupada is explaining how based on the different gunas you have and how based on your karmas, you actually get divided into the 4 varnas. But where are we placed? Where are we placed? Prabhupada has an answer if you go further down. A person in Krishna consciousness, however, is above even the Brahmanas. Haribo. Even the Brahmanas, you have to cross that if you are situated in Krishna consciousness. And then, what is the name for him? What is the name of a person of a Brahmana?
Vaishnava.
Vaishnava. But a man who transcends the limited knowledge of a Brahmana and reaches the knowledge of the Supreme Personality, Lord Krishna, becomes a person in Krishna consciousness, or in other words, a Vaishnava. So we all are at least trying to be a Vaishnava, isn't it? So we want our aircraft to really fly, but an aircraft can fly only when it is on the runway. Can an aircraft take off from a field, from a narrow street? Can take off only from a highway, from a runway, and the runway is Satoguna. So for us to reach that platform of a Vaishnava, we should at least situate ourselves in Satoguna. That's the key. So Prabhu, Prime Minister Prabhu, our president, has always been insisting ISKCON's purpose is to give you Brahmanical training, at least to situate you in Satoguna. And when you are in Satoguna, you are already on the runway. Now you are ready to fly. Okay. Specific duties of the different varnas, Brahmanas. So what are the duties? So we have spoken about guna, what gun they are under, and karma, what do they do? So everything is in the Shastras. Let's go back. Let's go to 18.42. 18.42 highlights the duties of each varna. So for Brahmana, anybody can read 18.42?
शमोदमस्तपःशौचं क्षान्तिरार्जवमेव च ज्ञानं विज्ञानमास्तिक्यं ब्रह्मकर्म स्वभावजम्. Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom, and religiousness. These are the natural qualities by which the Brahmanas work.
These are the natural qualities by which the Brahmanas work. So it comes naturally to them. Guna karma vibhagasa. What? Now you can see where you are situated. Peacefulness, doesn't want any disturbance of mind. Self-control, full sayyam he has. It is not rushing towards sense gratification. Austerity, tapasya. How many types of austerities are there? How many types of austerities are there? Broader level.
Prabhuji, 3 types of austerity.
What are they?
वाणी की तपस्या, मन की तपस्या,
वाणी की तपस्या, मन की तपस्या, और मनसः वाचः कर्मणा. So man means मन की तपस्या, वाचः means वाणी की तपस्या, कर्मणा means शारीरिक. So means these are the 3 type of tapasya: mind, mansa, vachah, vani, and karmana, your deeds. And all these again have satogun, tamogun, rajogun, which we'll see later on in Bhagavad Gita. So these are the austerities you can do. You can actually have tapasya for your mind, for your vani, and for your body. Purity, tolerance. See, tolerance, one word, but huge ramifications if you try to really implement in our life. You have to be tolerant. Honesty. The other day we were discussing honesty. Somebody said, Prabhuji, honesty is lack of opportunity. Opportunity comes and people become dishonest. Then you are not a Brahmana. You are not situated in a Brahmana. Then you are not in Satoguna. Knowledge, wisdom, and religiousness. So you see for yourself whether you have any one or more of these qualities in you. But unless you have all, you are not in Satoguna. Sometimes you feel, माला अच्छी हो रही है, मन लग रहा है, भक्ति शास्त्री भी कर रहे हैं, हम तो ब्राह्मण बन गए. See, it has to come, the change has to happen inside. So you can see for yourself, whether you have all these qualities now which are coming naturally to you. Then you are situated as in mode of goodness. So what are the specific duties for a Kshatriya? 18.43, anybody can read.
Heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity, and leadership are the natural qualities of work for the Kshatriyas.
Yes, so Kshatriyas actually mean heroism. See, earlier when kings were fighting a war, where would the king stand? Let's say when the army is on the battlefield, where do you find the king standing? Where,
In the
where does the king stand?
in the front.
Right in the front.
Prabhuji.
Now, when our country is fighting another country, where is the king standing? No, he's not at all standing. He's sitting in his office, AC room, and saying, "Kya hua? Kitne mare?" That's not Kshatriya. That's not the Kshatriya that we are looking at. Kshatriya means administrator. Administrator stands right in front when there is a war, not sitting, and really watching on a television from his AC office what's happening. That's not Kshatriya. We may call them administrators, but they're not administrators. It's heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity and leadership. These are the qualities of Kshatriyas. So, Prabhu ji, koi nahi hai? Nahi hai. Kalyug mein koi nahi hai because all are Shudras. See, one more quality. Okay, let's read the duties of other two varnas, then we'll understand how to identify a Shudra. Okay. So the next shloka for Vaishya 18.44. Please read the shloka.
ऋषिको रक्ष्य वाणिज्यं वैश्य कर्म स्वभावजं परिचार्यात्मकं कर्म शूद्रस्य यापि स्वभावजं. Farming, cow protection, and business are the qualities of work for the Vaishyas, and for the Shudras there is labor and service to others.
So Vaishya means farming, cow protection, and business. These come naturally to them. And Shudras means labor and service to others. So they serve others. So how do we identify? How do we identify? See, the easiest way to identify is Brahmana are the ones who live on donation, dan. Kshatriyas are the one who live on taxes, kar. Vaishyas are the one who live on profits, munafa. And Shudras are the one who live on salary, ankwa. Okay. So Shudras means salary. जी हमारे सोसाइटी में जो मंदिर है द टेम्पल इन सोसाइटी द ब्राह्मणा इज टेकिंग सैलरी फ्रॉम द सोसाइटी. So actually, if you see, even the brahmana is working for a salary now. Morning, 20,000 from one building. Afternoon, another temple, another 20,000. Evening, another temple, another 20,000. Really not bothered about scriptures, not bothered about serving the deities. So brahmana is actually not a brahmana. Okay, Kshatriya. Even the prime minister has a salary, Even the president has a salary. MLAs have salary. MPs have salary. So no Kshatriya. So if you see anybody who is taking salary, and this is at a very crude level, at a higher level to understand, is a Shudra. So Kalyug, everybody is a Shudra. Everybody is taking salary. Salary comes to the ones who serve. The ones who serve get salary. Serve others get salary. Yeah. So at least we got to understand our real position, isn't it? And before we are thinking we are Brahmanas.
Prabhuji, what is the army called, Prabhuji? People in army?
Sorry, Mataji?
What would be, so people in army or navy, what would they be called, Prabhuji?
See, so the army personnel, they are fighting for the country, that's good. But at a crude level, if you see, I mean, you can call them Kshatriyas in one sense, but not fully Kshatriyas. Actually, they are serving others. See, Kshatriya, a real Kshatriya is the Senapati, the king, the ministers, those who really fight. And they don't do it for salary. But yes, of course, the ones who are working for Sena, they get their monthly allowances, taxes out of the taxes that the government is earning. But all the qualities of a Kshatriya are not present in them. You see, we get a lot of reports that army personnel have killed the other army person through his duty revolver. He has committed suicide by killing himself. So all of these qualities of heroism, determination, leadership, generosity is not there. And a lot of scams are happening if you see, in the forces. So if these scams are happening, they are not showing or demonstrating the qualities they should have in the Kshatriya. So at the overall level, Mataji, whether see, you can also say for Brahmana, you can say, okay, ISKCON Brahmana, are they getting salary? No, they're not getting salary. Yes. But at a higher level, at a crude level, if you understand, that's the way to understand. Okay. Otherwise, based on principles, an army person is a Kshatriya.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, sorry. So specific duties of various ashrams. So 16.1 Prabhupada is referring to sannyasa ashram. Okay, let's open 16.1. See, this is the beauty of all this presentation, which we get from Mayapur. That for one topic you do, you run through all the relevant shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. Just chapter 2 doesn't mean chapter 2. Wherever it has relevance, we discuss that. So somebody wants to read?
Can I, Prabhu?
Yes, ma'am.
16.1, no, Prabhu?
All the three you can read together. No problem.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhir Yoga Vyavastitihi Danam Damascha Yajnascha Svadhyayastapa Arjavam Ahimsa Satyam Akrodhas Tyaga Shantir Apaishunam Daya Bhuteshvaloluktam Martavam Krir Achapalam Tejakshamadrati Shaucham Adroho Nati Manita Bhavanti Sampadam Daivim Abhijatasya Bharata. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault-finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy and from the passion for honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to godly men endowed with divine nature.
Very good. So this is a very good chapter. Actually, we should go through. It is like a mirror to us, divine and demonic natures. And in that, Prabhupada is highlighting the specific duties of various ashrams. So sannyasa ashram is saying, Abhayam Sat Samsadhir Jnana Yoga Mahastiti. Means what? Abhayam means fearlessness. A sannyasi is fearless. Why fearlessness is so important for a sannyasi? What fear are we talking about? You see, sannyasi means what? Complete renunciation. When there is complete renunciation, just put yourself in that situation for the time being, completely renounced, no money. Just one thing you think for yourself, you have no money. Immediately, there is fear in our minds. Because money gives us independence. Money means we try to make out something somewhere. But if you have no money, still you are not fearful. That's the order of sannyas. Because there is complete reliance on the mercy of Krishna. And for a sannyas, as per Shastras, he cannot even cook. He cannot even cook. So he has to rely on food being provided by others. He has to do madhukari. Complete reliance on God. That is why for a sannyasi, fearlessness is very important. Abhayam sattva samsuddhir. Sattva samsuddhir means purification of one's existence. Actually, if you see, it's because of a contamination that we are here. So the whole focus is on purification, and cultivation of spiritual knowledge. So these are the specific duties of sannyasi. Vanaprastha, tapa and austerity. Tapasya, mansaha vachaha karmana. These three austerities is very important for a vanaprastha. And for a grastha, danam damascha yagyascha, which means what? Dan dena hai, dan damascha, charity. Damascha means controlling the mind, and yagnascha, performance of sacrifices. Charity, self-control and sacrifice. This is for a grastha. And you see, charity is the specific duty only of a grastha. Why is that so? Why charity is not recommended for the other ashrams? Only for grastha it's said charity.
Brahmanas, they themselves are doing Madhukari, Prabhuji. So
Yes. Very logical, no? Only grastha is earning. Rest the three are not earning. You see, brahmacharya, what is he earning? Nothing. Grastha is earning. Vanaprastha, he is earning nothing. Sannyas earning nothing. So only grastha is earning. That is why he is the only eligible person to give dana, to give charity. And he must give charity. Actually, it is the duty of a grastha to maintain the other three ashrams. Self-control means if he's gotten a wife at home, that does not mean that he will indulge in uncontrolled sense gratification. If he's got Lakshmi at home, Dhan at home, that does not mean he should get unlimited sense gratification. He's allowed a bit, but not completely delve into it. भोग ऐश्वर्य प्रसक्तानां तया अपरिहत चेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि समादो न विधीयते. One who is there's excess involvement in bhog and aishwarya, he does not have a dedicated approach, a dedicated mind for bhakti, for devotion. So self-control and sacrifice. And for brahmacharya, swadhyaya. First 25 years of your life, swadhyaya. Swadhyaya means study of the Vedas. So these are the specific duties of different ashrams. Okay. So just to recapitulate, Arjun's 4 reasons for not fighting was compassion, enjoyment, simple reaction, destruction of the dynasty. Results of following one ashram dharma. In the system of the one ashram institution, there are many principles of religious tradition to help members of the family grow and attain spiritual life. That we already discussed. Why one ashram is there? So that there can be gradual progression. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Discharging one specific duty, any field of action in accordance with the order of the higher authority serves to elevate one to higher status of life. Higher status of life does not mean that from one car you will get 2 cars, or from one bungalow you will get 2 bungalows. That's not the higher status of life. Higher status of life means you will gradually go above, Prithvi se upar, uske upar, uske upar, uske upar, like that, Brahma Loka, and then eventually to spiritual world, if you do your specific duties. Swarga Dwaram Pavatam, opening the door of the heavenly planets. That opens the whole door of heavenly planets for you. See, our goal is not to go to the heaven and enjoy, but what Shastra is trying to explain is that through Varnashram, gradually you can progress and ultimately start doing devotional service to the Lord. Whoever executes his occupational duty of Swadharma for 100 births, for instance, for Brahmana continues to act as such, becomes eligible for promotion to Brahma Loka, the planet of Lord. Now see the importance of following a Swadharma. If you are executing a Swadharma properly for 100 births, so consistency is what God sees. We can be consistent for a couple of hours or couple of days. Krishna is saying, how many births? Births, 2 hours, Krishna. No, 100 births. 100 births if your consistency, then you will go to God. See, so difficult, no? कैसे होगा हम लोग तो क्या है Prabhupada is given a very easy technique. Directly plunge into bhakti yoga, and you will attain what needs to be attained. O son of Partha, do not yield to this degrading impotence. It does not become you. Give up such petty weakness of heart and arise, O chastiser of the enemy. So Krishna is saying to Arjuna, what are you doing? What are you doing? You are such a brave warrior. You even got Pashupat Astra from Shivji, which nobody is able to get. And now you are saying you don't want to fight. Don't do that. Because it does not become you, it does not suit you. So, see what happens in the immediate next sloka. So, this is 2.3 if you see. When Krishna is saying, you don't degrade yourself to such a position. So, Arjun is replying. What? He's calling Krishna as Madhusudana. If you see 2.4, he's calling Krishna as Madhusudana. Madhusudana means Madhu was a demon, Asura, and he was killed by Krishna. What did Madhu do? What did Madhu do? Anybody knows? Why Krishna killed Madhu? Nobody knows. Okay. So Madhu, he stole scriptures from Brahma. And when he stole scriptures from Brahma, everybody there was nescience, अज्ञानता. ब्रह्मा जी से उन्होंने ज्ञान चुरा लिया तो अज्ञानता फैल गई. So Krishna killed him and again there was knowledge. So Arjuna is saying, Katham Bhishmam Aham Sankhe Dronam Cha Madhusudana. Krishna, you are Madhusudana. You killed Madhu and knowledge again prevailed. You want me to become Bhishma Sudana? You want me to become Bhishma Sudana? You want me to become Drona Sudana? You want me to kill Bhishma? You want me to kill Drona? Prabhupada is saying in one of the lectures, you killed a demon Madhu, therefore your name is Madhusudana, but why? But you are asking me to kill my grandfather and teacher. It is all right that your name is Madhusudana. You killed one demon whose name was Madhu, but you are asking me Bhishma Sudana? Bhishma is my grandfather and Drona Sudana. Sudana means killer. So how can I be that? How can I become Bhishma Sudana? How can I become Drona Sudana? So actually Arjun is hinting to Krishna, Krishna, you are Madhusudana, which is good, but don't let me become Bhishma Sudana and Drona Sudana. So the fifth objection of Arjun was, I don't know what to do. If you see Shlokas number 5, it would be better to live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of the lives of great souls of my teachers, even though desiring worldly gain, the superiors, if they are killed, everything they enjoy will be tainted with blood. Arjun is saying, I don't know what to do. Please guide me what to do. So there are actually 5 reasons Arjun gives for not fighting. The first 4 we discussed, and the 5th one is indecision. He doesn't know what to do. 2.6 he is saying, nor do we know which is better. Pata hi nahi hai kya sahi hai. Indecision. Conquering them or being conquered by them. Krishna, I don't know whether I should conquer them or I should get conquered by them. If we killed the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live, yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield. Indecision. Now, exactly the situation we find ourselves most of the times in this miserable material world. What to do? What to do? What to do? क्या करें? क्या सही है? क्या गलत है? So we always say, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. This is where you should look up. Now imagine yourself in a situation where you're stuck. What to do? So you should refer to the Shastras and see what Arjuna did. What Arjuna did, we'll find out in the next sloka. Karpanya dosho upahat svabhava prichhami tvam dharma sammuna chetaha yashresha nishchitam bruhi tanme shisyaste aham sadhi mam tvam prapannam. Now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. Karpanya dosho. My heart is weak like a miser. In this condition, I'm asking you, Krishna, to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple, Sishyaste Aham, and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. Sishyaste Aham Sadhi, Mam Kam Prapan. This is what we have to do. Surrender. So when you're confused what to do, first you should accept that it is a weakness of your mind. That is the first step. We don't accept. We don't accept because that would demean us. That would demean us. Krishna is standing and Arjuna is saying, Karpanya dosho pahatsuva. Krishna, it's my weakness. Karpan. So first he's accepting that his mind is not able to decide. First you should accept that you're not able to decide. That gives you humble. You get humbleness, which means now you are getting ready to surrender. And after that he says, what I want to surrender to you. Now I'm your disciple. Now I'm your disciple. Sishya. Sishyaste aham sad. And since I'm your disciple, what you should do? Mam tvam prapannam. Sishyaste aham sadhi. Sadhi means instructor. Mam tvam prapannam. I have surrendered to you, you instruct. A disciple surrenders to the Guru and Guru instructs. So this is how we also have to approach our lives. When you are in such a situation, first accept it's a weakness of your heart, it's a weakness of your mind that you are in such a situation. And then you can pray to Krishna. Krishna, can you help? I don't know what to do. Guru, can you help? I don't know what to do. Yeah. Dharma sammud. There's a word used. Prichhami tvam dharma sammud cheta. So what is the meaning? Prichhami means I'm asking. Tvam means unto you. Dharma means religion. Sammuda means bewildered. Chetaha means in heart. I'm bewildered at the heart. Dharma means some. So what is? I'm confused about my duty. Sishyaste. Sishyaste yani now I'm your disciple. Okay. So first he's accepting what is his weakness and then he's saying I'm your disciple. Kindly guide me. So what you have to do now? I'll break you into 2 rooms and you have to do a small discussion. Just note down what you have to discuss on. Identify general principles drawn from Arjuna's dilemma and surrender to Krishna. So Arjuna was in dilemma in 2.6 and 2.7 he surrenders. And then 2.8 where Arjuna is saying, I can find no means to drive away this grief which is drying up my senses. I'm not able to dispel it even if I win a prosperous, unrivaled kingdom on earth with sovereignty like the demigods in heaven. Saying, no, it's killing me, Krishna. So what you have to do, you have to refer to these 2 shlokas, 2.7 and 2.8 and identify some general principles, some siddhantas which you can draw from Arjuna's dilemma and surrender to Krishna. And you, first point. Second, discuss how these principles are relevant in your own practice of Krishna consciousness. Whatever principles now you're identifying through through Arjuna's dilemma and surrender to Krishna, see how it is applicable in progressing in your Krishna consciousness. Okay, you're ready? So you will see on your screen. Okay, I got it. Breakout rooms. You'll see an invitation to join breakout room. Kindly join. And I'll close the room. Will come to know in 5 to 7 minutes. By then, you should have discussed. And number 2, appoint a leader because not everybody can speak. So appoint one leader from your group who will represent you and speak. Okay? Hare Krishna, you can join now. All of you can join. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, it's not coming, the message.
Message is there. I can send you again. 1 minute. Ekta Verma Mataji for you.
Yes, Prabhuji.
1 moment. See now it will come.
Yes, it has come, Prabhuji.
Malashri Mataji, Manasi Mataji, kindly join. Naveen Prabhu, Shavani, Mataji, kindly join. Those who have not joined, please join. Manashri Mataji, Naveen Prabhu, Shravani Mataji. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna. We are back. Okay, so who are the two participants, two devotees, who are the group leaders? They can raise their hands kindly, digital hands. Leaders.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. May I just take some initiative and present the points, Prabhuji?
So you are one group. Let's identify. Sandhya Rani Mataji, you were in room number 1 or 2?
2.
Room number 1, who is the leader?
Aryan Prabhu.
Okay, Mataji. Fine. So yes, Sandhya Rani Mataji, go ahead.
Here, in the first thing, identifying the general principles drawn from Arjuna's dilemma and surrender to Krishna. In this, we have identified one particular point from the first paragraph. One point is the perplexities of life would be coming in, though we wanted or we don't want these such type of perplexities would be popping up. So when such type of perplexities pop up, how we have to practice the respective answer, how we have to follow this particular principle in our practice of Krishna consciousness is, here we understand that one has to approach the bona fide spiritual master for solving such type of perplexities whenever there is any confusions in the spiritual advancement of life. This is what we have one point, Prabhuji. And coming to next, second paragraph, we have taken one more point here. When we have taken, human form of life, generally in human form of life is very much important for solving the problems of life. What are the problems of life? Here we are understanding is birth, old age, death, and disease. So in these four particular problems are really possible only in this particular human life. But when it comes to animal life, such type of complexities or problems of life cannot be solved. So this opportunity is given to only the human beings. This is one point we have considered. Considering the practice of KC, we should not be the miser in handling or solving the problems of life. That's one thing, Prabhuji. And one more point from the last point from the third paragraph, what we have understood is being Kripa happens, he has the skin disease or attachments to the family members or the extended family like society or community likewise. So one should be free from such type of attachments. So when one is free from such type of attachments, only such people can come out of this particular perplexities. That means one has to come out of the attachment, and one should approach the spiritual master as a disciple and surrender oneself 100% and a submissive may and by serving him. And last from 8th purpose, Prabhuji, though there are so many perplexities of life, the economic development or having good knowledge or having the good wealth, all such qualifications will not help us in solving the problems. Only by the approach of towards the spiritual master and under his guidance only we can come out of these particular problems. This is what we have understood from the 8th chapter. 8th verse, Prabhuji.
And do you want to discuss on the second bullet, how this is relevant in your own practice of Krishna consciousness?
With this particular point, one has to approach Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam to attain the real happiness and solution for the problems, Prabhuji. So one has to take refuge in the Krishna consciousness to get the peace and the harmony into our lives.
All right. Okay. Anything add? Anything further you want to say, Mataji? That's it.
Done, Prabhuji.
Okay, so just to summarize for everyone, Mataji pointed out 4 points for the first bullet in identifying the general principles. First is life problems or perplexities will keep on coming. You may want or you may don't want. Nobody wants to say, "Mere jeevan mein dukh aa jaye." No, but it comes. You can run away to moon, but still it will come. Then Mataji highlighted how, in spite of getting human body, if you don't solve the problem of Janam Mrityu Jara Vyadhi, then we're acting like a miser, conjuice. Why? Because we are not using this human form to solve the problem. Then she talked about attachments as skin disease, and we need to get free from it. And the fourth point, Mataji talked about high academic qualifications, huge positions in the society, but still feeling miserable. Why? They are not helpful. Okay. So what we have to do, or these principles identified, how can it help in our own practice of Krishna consciousness? So Mataji said we should approach Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. That is a summary. If we approach Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, we can be able to find solution to such problems. All right. So this is room number 2. Room number 1, Nandita Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Prabhu, Aryan Prabhu speaking for us.
Okay. Aryan Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Most of the points are actually similar to what Mataji said earlier. I just want to add a few. So first point is, as Mataji speaking, there is a lot of confusion in human life, as there is don't have the proper knowledge, and of course, as we don't have the control in our own desires, their problems are actually occurs. And to solve the problem, we actually need a bona fide spiritual master who can guide us properly. And the second point, that is the now first, the when the problem appears to us, our natural instinct is to solve the problem, but most of the time we didn't actually primarily we first thought that it is a not a, I mean, how we can solve the problem, and secondly, that time if we cannot solve it properly, we think that we are unable to solve the problem. So our tendency to solve the problem properly is very less in this yoga. So but we must, to avoid to counter this, we must remember that this is the most valuable form, the human life. It is the rarest of the rarest, so we must utilize it and using it properly. If we don't use it properly, then our life will be really miserable. The third point I would like to highlight is, as we have the, I mean, over affection towards our family member, we in Kali Yuga, due to as we also called mundans by Srila Prabhupada many times, with our little bit materialistic knowledge, we consider that whatever surrounding us, like our family members, they are only, I mean, we only belong to them. But as we know in the earlier Vedic text also, it is mentioned that Vasudeva Kutumbakam, that all the members in our earth should be our guest, our relative, and we must see the world population like this way. So we shouldn't be over affectionate towards own family members. There are many others also, and Krishna is belong to all of them. Krishna is there in all of their heart. So we must broad our view towards the general public, not to confine our good relation with only the family members. And the fourth is the I mean, useless materialistic knowledge I would like to highlight. Like through our materialistic knowledge, we just busy in like try to counter attack our just the four problems, is like jara, the vardhaka, old age, the death. But we know in through the spiritual knowledge, when we are guided by the bona fide masters, we get to know that our souls are eternal. It cannot be it cannot be destroyed, it cannot be burned. So the all the materialistic knowledge, when we are just only learn to them, it is just verbalized, it cannot be grasped by our mind. Then we actually didn't realize the essence of the knowledge, our ancient text, Vedic text. And so the only the spiritual text that is spoken by Krishna himself actually can guide us what we are and what we actually here to do. And the next point is, whatever when we develop something like economic development or social development, we think like actually we did it, we have the power, but we must realize that it can be destroyed by one stroke through nature. Even if we try to reach to the other planet like the moon planet, our all attempts can be just vanquished by just one stroke of nature. So whatever we think like we are gaining or we are capturing or we are possessing the power, it is just, we must remember that the power is actually transferred through inheritance, or in some way we are not have the capacity to create the power. So this is the point. And the last, that these are the all points. So, and when actually they are actually the materialistic knowledge actually create this confusion and illusion. And when we didn't able to solve the problems properly, we actually trapped into the lamentation. So to carve the lamentation, we must seek the guidance of the bona fide spiritual master, And the last point is that if one needs to be in the Krishna consciousness, there is no boundaries in that he must be to the elite class like Brahman or Kshatriya or nothing like that. A Shudra can be a Vaishnav if he properly surrendered to the Krishna and become a spiritual master. So there is no boundary on that. This is I realized, Prabhuji, from the first part.
Okay. Anything you want to add further, Prabhuji, or that's okay? That's done.
Yeah, I'm done, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, thank you, thank you, Prabhuji. So we've covered almost all points. Now, something to reflect on. Attachment. Both the leaders spoke about attachment. Prabhuji spoke about Vasudevam Kutumbakam. So if you really see, it is very, very difficult to be in a position that you're not attached. Very difficult. Something or the other, you're always attached to either person or a thing or an environment, or even the side of the bed you want to sleep on, the glass you want to drink water in, the car you want to drive, the clothes you want to wear, everything you are attached to. And that is what you realize when you travel and you have to stay in somebody else's house, then you realize you are attached to so many things. मेरे को तो यहाँ नींद ही नहीं आई, मेरे को तो घर में ना एसी की आदत है. So we don't realize when we are attached to so many things. So how to overcome that? Krishna has given a solution in Bhagavad Gita. What has Krishna said? Anybody? One direct shloka on this. Krishna is saying, Maya Saktamana Partha. Attachment hai.
Yogam yunjan madashraya.
Attachment hai, good, but you do one thing, just redirect your attachment towards me. Maya Saktamana Partha. Mere se attachment, do your attachment. All attachment should be with me, not with anything else. So, your inherent nature of getting attached to something remains, but now instead of getting attached to so many X, Y, Z of material world, you get attached to Krishna. Maya Saktamana. So you redirect. That's the secret. Very good. Now the second point we have to reflect on is we did it. Prabhuji said we did it. Sometimes you think we did it. What is Krishna saying in Bhagavad Gita about that? When human beings think we did it. What is Krishna saying? Krishna has said something. When we think, yeah, I've done it. I've done it. Krishna is saying something.
Just do not.
Nimitta matram bhava savyasachi.
Okay. Nimitta matram bhava savyasachi. Very good. Anybody else?
He says, do
Ahankara
not.
vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. Bhagavan कह रहे हैं, Krishna is saying, actually, it's the modes, Prakriti, which is doing everything, but Ahankar vimudhatma, out of pride, Ahankar, Jiva says, Maine kiya, I have done it, I have done it. So it's nothing but your Ahankar. Ahankar vimudhatma karta. Okay. Prabhuji spoke about lamentation. Lament. Sheh, kya kar diya mere? What did I do? I should not have done this. Prabhupada, in his purports, speaks about lamentation and also tells us the highest degree of lamentation. What is that? When you're really lamenting, then what you should do? Go and say sorry, sorry, I will not do again, and then repeat the same thing. Or sit full day and cry, oh, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? That's not lamentation. What is real lamentation? Prabhupada is writing in one of his purports. In fact, not in one place, many places. What is real lamentation? If you are really sorry about something, then what is the real lamentation? Real lamentation is accepting Krishna consciousness. That is real lamentation. If you think deeply, you may have hurt somebody, you may have taken some wrong decisions in your life. What should you do about it? Again, you will find a material solution to it. Again, you will do the same thing. But if you take to Krishna consciousness, you will never repeat that. That's the real lamentation. If you're really sorry about yourself, take to Krishna consciousness. Why can't you dedicate your life towards Krishna? Why can't you do that? Then you're not lamenting. You're just making a show off. It's just making a show off. If you have real lamentation, you will dedicate your time and effort and all the material resources you have in serving Krishna. That's real lamentation. Because now you have changed the way you want to live your life. That's real lamentation. Otherwise, it's all show off. Otherwise, it's just show off and you will do again the same thing you're doing. Just think for yourself how many times for the same mistake you have said sorry to yourself and to others. Because you're trying to find material solution to a material problem, which does not work. You will keep on repeating, keep on repeating, keep on. But such में अगर lamentation है, so that is Krishna consciousness. Then you don't repeat it. That's real lamentation. Krishna, now I understand the miserable and pathetic condition I am in. And I also understand I'll not be able to ever come out of it through material solution. So let me take your guidance. Let me take your shelter. Let me surrender to you. Let me chant your holy name. And then real lamentation. Okay. One last point we have to discuss here is Prabhupada is directly saying, you see, Shloka 7, directly Prabhupada is saying, by nature's own way, the complete system of material activities is a source of perplexity. In every step, there is perplexity, and therefore it behooves one to approach a bona fide spiritual master. Direct. Prabhupada is saying, perplexities in life, approach spiritual master. Why is Prabhupada saying that? Prabhupada explains it in Shloka 8. If you read Shloka 8, last second paragraph, if economic development and material comforts could drive away one's lamentation for family, social, national, or international inabilities, then Arjuna would not have said that even an unrivaled kingdom on earth or supremacy like that of the demigods in the heavenly planets would be unable to drive away his lamentation. Prabhupada is saying, if economic development is a solution, then why will Arjuna say, Krishna, even if I get Swarg, still it is not acceptable? Why will he say that? Why will he say that? Just think. In Shloka 8, Arjuna is saying, if I will not be able to dispel it, even if I win a prosperous, unrivaled kingdom on earth with sovereignty like the demigods in heaven, even if I get an unrivaled kingdom, किसी के पास नहीं है, सर्वश्रेष्ठ, still my grief, still my lamentation will be there, which means economic development cannot buy peace of mind. And that is why Prabhupada is directly saying, go to spiritual master. So you have evidences from Shastras. It's not a lecture anybody is giving out of his own mind. Shastra, Arjuna is saying, if I have an unrivaled kingdom, still I have lamentation in my heart, which means economic development cannot give peace of mind. Evidence. 2.7, 2.8, evidence. Evidence from Shastras. So what do you have to do? Surrender to the spiritual master. And every morning, we are repeating this, but it's not making sense to us. How? What are we saying every morning? Every morning we are repeating this. Samsara dava nalalida loka tranaya karunya gana ganatma. Same thing, no? Is it different? Same thing. But we are just singing. We're just singing, just singing. It does not make sense to us. What are we singing? Only a spiritual master can douse the fire of material misery. Only a spiritual master. प्रभु जी मेरे जीवन में तो कोई आग ही नहीं है. Prabhupada is saying nobody wants fire, but fire will come. Not today, tomorrow. It will come. Because that's the very nature of this. Krishna is saying what? Dukhalayam asashvatam. Krishna is saying. About this world, he's saying Dukhalayam. Dukhalayam means what? Pustakalaya, you go, what do you get? Pustak. Dukhalayam, what will you get? Dukh. Simple, no. You don't need a rocket science for that. Dukhalayam means where Dukh is there. Pustakalaya means where Pustak is there. Any alaya means that's a storehouse. So Dukhalayam means Dukh. How Krishna knows? If you buy a mobile, till 2 years, 3 years, you are still looking for new features, but the mobile company knows all the features. Krishna is the manufacturer of this world. He knows everything. He says Dukhalayam. You may try to find a sukh there, but it's not sukh, it's cessation of dukh for some time. Full stop. Full stop. It's cessation of dukh, which we think is sukha. It's not so. Okay? So these were the key points we had to discuss. Now let's proceed. Karpanya means one who does not properly use his position. One man is rich, but he does not spend his money. Simply sees the money. He is called Karpanya. Similarly, Arjun is powerful. He can fight. He's a Kshatriya, but he's denying. So Karpanya dosho means what? Prabhupada is explaining. Karpanya means miser. And a rich person not spending money. What's the use of such a money? So Krishna is saying, or Prabhupada is explaining, Arjun is having what? He's having power. He's having all the astras, shastras. He doesn't use. It's Karpanya. Therefore, he is thinking that I have become Karpanya. Arjun himself is thinking. Although I have got strength, I am denying to fight. Although I have got money, I do not spend. This is called Karpanya. So Karpanya dosha upahat. Now I am infected with Karpanya dosha. Arjuna argued religious principles should be given more importance than politics or sociology. But he did not know that knowledge of matter, soul, and the supreme is even more important than religious formalities or familiarities. See, he was giving all sort of excuses, no? All tradition, family tradition, compassion, enjoyment, this, that. But he did not know what? That the knowledge of matter, soul, and supreme is the most important. Okay, so this I think we'll skip. So what will happen? You'll have open book and closed book. I'll discuss because there are some rules that have been made now. The person teaching cannot set papers, cannot check. Nandita Mataji, you are aware of such rules being made? No? You discuss with Aishwarya Mataji. We have seen some discussion happening in Hindi Bhakti Shastri that the one who is conducting classes cannot set paper and cannot check. So there will be a third part, means another teacher, so that there is good quality. You know, if I set the paper, I'll set the paper so that you can answer and I can give you good marks. So it's better that other teachers do. So that's the rule being made. So kindly get guidance from Aishwarya Mataji. How do we do? We are in second chapter. And at what point in time we should give open book assessments and assessments. Okay? So, because you can start writing at least. Okay. These are all okay. This we have already discussed in our. So what did we do today? Just to understand, and you can see whether we missed anything. Define and explain Varnashram Dharma, modes influencing the Varnas, specific duties of the Varna and Ashram, results of the following Varnashram Dharma. Okay, so we did discussion on all of that. Related Arjuna's reasons for not fighting to the principles of Varnashram Dharma. Teaching application. Presented arguments to defeat the concept of Varna determined by birth. Personal application discussed how general principles drawn from Arjuna's dilemma and surrender to Krishna are relevant for own practice of Krishna consciousness. Father and teacher is advised by Chanakya Pandit that you should always chastise your son and disciple, always find out mistake. Now see what happens. Whenever anybody chastises, including our guru, we feel very bad. We are, on the one hand, we are taught Vaishnavas don't find any mistakes. Vaishnava Aparadh can happen. Don't try to blaspheme a devotee who has dedicated his life towards serving the Lord. So many. But we at the same time we see डांटते रहते हैं गुरु तो टेंपल प्रेसिडेंट तो डांटते ही रहते हैं कमियां ही निकालते रहते हैं. It is his duty to do that. Chanakya Pandit has said, father and guru should always find faults. Don't be angry, but it is the business of the teacher and the father simply to find out mistakes, not to find out good things. Because if you say, "Arey, mera beta," bas, beta ka to ab kalyan, because he will get so much pride. Never recognize disciples' business or son's business as very good, then they will become spoiled. This is the injunction of Chaitanya. Okay, so every time you are being chastised by your father, by your guru, take it as a blessing. Take it as a blessing. So far as we are concerned, when a spiritual master used to chastise, we took it as a blessing. That was very nice. And he would chastise, damn, rascal, foolish, stupid, anything, all good words. You see, if our temple president, our guru calls us damn or fool, next day, leave aside, next moment we are out of temple for life. That's not the way to take it. Prabhupada is saying all good words. That's the way we should take it. Rascal, thank you, Guru Maharaj. All good words. That's a blessing. That's the way we should take it. Okay? Okay, we end the session here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If you have anything to add, anything you have missed, kindly please go ahead. Are any questions?
Krishna Prabhuji.
Correct.
Prabhuji, in Varnas, Krishna has divided into 4 categories. As per me, I understand all the 4 should be on the equal platform. Is it we should understand that Brahmana is on the higher stage compared to Shudra, or everyone has their own role? If I keenly think on how Krishna has acted, I have observed Krishna has played all the 4 roles. How while giving the Bhagavad Gita instructions, he acted as a Brahmana, and as a king of Dwaraka, he acted as Kshatriya, and as a son of Nanda Maharaj, he acted as Vaishnava, and as a charioteer of Arjuna, he acted as a Shudra. So, I am under the opinion all the 4 Varnas are equally important for the society. But however, in 15th chapter, somewhere at one particular shloka, I don't remember that number, it says that Brahmana is the head of all the Varna system. So, how to go about it?
So, I think you've interpreted it very well. All are on equal platform in terms of their importance. And as you said in chapter 15, you said Brahmana is the head of the body, but can the body work without a leg? Which is Shudra, cannot work. Can the body work without hands? Can the body work without abdomen? So the body needs all. So society needs all the 4 varnas. So all are equally important, Mataji. And that is why the concept of Swadharma, don't think if you are serving others, you are less important. What benefit a Brahmana gets by teaching Vedas, same benefit a Shudra gets by serving a Brahmana. Same benefit a Vaishya gets by doing his business properly, and same benefit a Kshatriya gets by fighting for his country. Okay? So Swadharma is important. Alright?
But why did the 15th chapter they said Brahmana is the head?
That's what I explained.
He is given the first
Brahmana is the head and Shudra is a leg, but head and leg both are equally important for the body. Can a body say, "Main to khali Brahman, only head, legs are not there"? What body is that? So for a body, you need everything. No, you need head, which means Brahmana. You need shoulders and your arms, which is Kshatriya. You need abdomen, which is Vaishya. You need legs, which is Shudra. Can the body work without any of the parts? Cannot. Yeah. So your leg is, you don't deride your leg. Your leg is also beautiful. Your head is also beautiful. Your arms are also beautiful. Yeah?
Okay, thank you.
You will see Srimad Bhagavatam also, different cantos are compared to different parts of the body of the Lord. That does not mean canto 1 is the best because it is the head, or canto 12 is the worst because it is, it's not like that. Yeah? It's just a way to understand things.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can I ask you a question, please?
Yes, ma'am.
This is basically because I didn't understand it very well. We spoke about indecision today, and you said it's the weakness of mind, and that's basically indecision. But in our daily life, there is so much indecision, so much of it. And it is not that we can approach a bona fide spiritual master to sort out very silly, simple things. How do we apply this in our life, or how do we go about sorting this? Because it's
Yeah.
not like a master is available for everything, nor is do I have, I mean, I'm just saying, devotee associates who are available all the time. And I don't know, I mean, if their level of uh, understanding my indecision is correct or not. There is no way I can verify that. And I don't know really what kind of advice I'm supposed to follow, because I don't know what is right or wrong. And my indecision stems from the fact that I don't know. So, how do I deal with this every day?
Very good question. In fact, most of us go through this. When we read that we are not capable of really taking decision for ourselves and we should approach Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, the first thing that comes to mind is not every time Guru is available, not every time Sadhu is available, not every time Shastra is available. Shastra is available, we don't know how to interpret it. See, there are two dimensions to the question. One is what problems we're seeking solution. You think 99% of the time our problem is material problem. We are seeking solution to material problem through the principles of Shastras. But actually that's not meant to be. The real problems are Janam Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukha Doshanu Darshanam. If you get a darshan of these four problems, then you seek guidance through Shastra. But मुझे अभी लाइफ में ये प्रॉब्लम है ये क्या करूँ अभी लाइफ में ये प्रॉब्लम है so it's not new to you it's actually the situation of all devotees so what happens practically I'll tell you is the best way and see guru means spiritual master but temple president represents the parampara so temple president is the nearest to you whom you should always consult. I have seen in our temple devotees who are there for long. They often call our temple president to discuss such problems and he guides them. Sadhu means association of devotees. So you should have, see, many temples have a system of counselors whom you are advised to call and discuss your problems. They will guide you. And Shastra, which means we refer to Shastras. Not every time it is becoming practical. So what happens now? Devotees, they tend to develop reliance on Guru and Krishna. When it is a problem involving the spiritual life, they are very particular and they really want to discuss things with Guru Sadhu and Shastra. It's a problem relating to material problems and they find it silly to discuss with other devotees or temple president of Guru. Somehow they try to solve it in a preliminary way, and if it doesn't get solved, they leave it. They leave it to Krishna. They try to solve, but if it doesn't get solved, they don't overexert themselves and they accept as a will of Krishna. That's the way I have seen practically devotees approaching their material problems. Because they don't even want to waste their time discussing material problems unless it's a too big a problem that is impacting your spiritual life they discuss but otherwise they just leave it leave it means you don't allow it to become a spoiler in your life but small things leave it to Krishna. Leave it to Krishna. You give some efforts to it try to solve it if it doesn't get solved you just accept it as Krishna. That is the way Mataji practically have seen devotees approaching the material problems. Unless you know there are a lot of senior devotees here, you can also share your experience.
Thank you, Prabhu. But like you said, if everybody can share, I mean, I'm just taking your permission to ask, uh, what kind of indecisions do they face? I mean, if they do have, I mean, I'm a neophyte and I'm very below in the ladder of even below a Kanishta Adhikari, very, very ignorant also. But I have probably very silly problems. But what do you, I just wanted to know if anybody else has any indecisions, like when they wake up in the morning, do they have to decide on something? I mean, related to Krishna consciousness. I'm not talking about other material decisions on what you have to do during the day, your tasks, your job, etc. I just wanted to know if anybody else has these indecisions every morning or every night before they go to bed.
Yes, anyone wants to discuss their experience on it?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, bro.
What I realize is that, I mean, most of our life, we actually, if we consider or rescan everything, most of the time we are busy in like lamenting whatever we done in the past and doing planning for the future while we should do. And in the meantime, we actually forget to live the present moment. That what is the moment we have right now, what we should do now. That is most of the time we actually forget to do. Most of the time we actually, I mean, what I mentioned, either lamenting or preparing. But if we realize, Krishna always tell that you should have control and have the thing that what you should do now. I mean, don't think about the, just like when you speak to Arjuna, that it is the time for you now to fight. Not think about the other party, what your relation was there in your past, or don't worry about what the scenes will capture you, what will be the result of the fight. It's your now time as a Kshatriya, you should fight. So now it is your present time, it's your duty, just do it. So in that way, what I think is, whatever the time I'm living now, what I should do now, as per Krishna, as per my prescribed duties mentioned, I should act in that way. And then, I mean, that is the only the few, I mean, choice that we have as a human body. We should do as per, I mean, act on it. And then as we should surrender to Krishna and surrender the whatever the result we get, we should surrender to the lotus feet of Krishna. That is what I realize, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
I don't know. Anybody else?
I would like to share my indecision. Since COVID, only I have got an opportunity to involve myself into the spiritual aspects. And from the COVID, because everyone was there at home, then the Zoom platform has come in. From there only, I could able to understand and taste the spiritual masters so blissful. At the same time, after due to this COVID, due to some this thing, I lost my job. So I am still now in a dilemma. Sometimes I understand that spiritual matters are very good. I have to be in this line. Everything is good, fine. And sometimes when the challenges come in the financial situations and all, I do get back again thinking, why should I give an effort and try to get the job, having so much of experience, and how to go about it. So since almost 1 year, I'm thinking of it, even it is still a indecision for me. When I read Bhagavad Gita and when I try to enjoy the verses and the instructions given by Krishna, I really feel I have to be on the line of spiritual line. But when some situations, actual problems pop up in the reality, in real life, then again I really wanted to go back into my normal routine, like almost which I did 10 years plus. So this is a challenge which I just wanted to share what is practically I'm facing in my life, just to give an idea of Nandita Mataji. And even still I'm struggling. I don't have a solution.
See what happens, Krishna has said very clearly in Bhagavad Gita that 4 types of person come to him. Arth, Arthati, Jnani, Jigyas. They are not Jnani, they are not Jigyas. The Arth or Arthati, generally people go to demigods. Arthati means who wants material benefits. Arth is the one who is dukhi. So what happens? Probably, unless we are in such a situation, and COVID really showed us the realities, cruel, Prabhupada says, the strict rules of nature, that we somehow tried to take shelter of the Supreme Personality of God. And sometimes these problems, material problems, keep on motivating us to continue doing that. See, Kunti Marani says that Krishna, let my life be filled with problems as always, so that I can continuously think of you. We are not in that stature, nor can we ever go to that stature. But the thing is, Arth seeks shelter of Krishna. See, Hari means one who takes away, but will not take away from us because we cannot handle that. It takes away from pure devotees. Like Prabhupada, if you have read Leela Amrit, when his business was in loss, he was discussing in Sudarshan. Is it happening because of this, that Hari is taking away everything so that I completely take shelter of Krishna? I said, yes. But don't worry, we are not in that stage. Because if he does that to us, we'll become Nastik. We'll say, Kya Krishna? Jo tha wo bhi le li. See, Krishna is saying, Yog Shemam Mahamaya. So whatever you have, I'll protect, and whatever you don't have, I'll give. Depending on, he has to protect you, he has to protect all the principles, he has to protect everything. So accordingly, he deals with this. Now, so this is what, I mean, this is important for us to understand if such a decision comes or such aspect comes in our life. Like Mataji saying whether to take a job, not to take a job. And Mataji said, when I've actually faced this problem, see, had Bhagavad Gita not be told in a war-like situation, it would have just become like a dry philosophy. It's a conversation. It's a conversation in an actual battlefield. It's an actual situation. Actual families are involved. Actual human beings are getting killed. Actual bloodshed is happening. It's not a dry philosophy. So what it means is this philosophy is to be implemented in our lives. Otherwise, it just becomes like other scriptures, other community scriptures, which are just dry philosophy, and people don't know how to put them in their lives. That is why it is in the form of question and answer between Arjuna and Krishna, so that we actually implement these philosophies in life. When we face actual situation, see, Arjuna was in an actual war. He was in an actual war. It's not a hypothetical situation. It's a real war that is happening. And in that situation, Arjuna is applying the philosophy Krishna spoke. That's what is expected from us. And the level of advancement we have shown in our spiritual life, it all depends on this. Krishna, Rameshwar Prabhu always says, there is nothing lamentable in the kingdom. Nothing lamentable in the kingdom. Krishna is in full control. Full control. Anything that has happened in our life, he is in full control. You say, no, Bhagavan ki ichha bhi nahi. That's true. There's nothing lamentable in this kingdom. We keep on trying, and that purifies us. That keeps on purifying us. It's a process. It's a gradual, slow process. It's not like a machine you switch on and the machine is on, and switch on, the machine is off. It's a gradual process. Yeah. Dhairya. Utsaha nishya dhairya. That is required. Okay. All right. So we'll end the session here. No more questions, no more comments. Thank you, everyone. We'll meet next Thursday and complete chapter 2. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhuvaya patitana pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Ananta koti vaishnav vrind ki.
Jai.
Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Thanks, Prabhuji. Dandavat
Thank you,
pranam.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna.